Because who have they played? Arizona is 4-2 and 1-2, and they still got a boatload of road games coming up on the second half, including the next two are going to be on the road. So Arizona could be. I don't believe they're a 5-7 team. I still believe they're the 7-5 team that I said they were going to be at the beginning of this season, but we don't know, I think, how good this Arizona team is. What is Cincinnati really as good as what they've been in the first half of this season? Obviously Colorado doesn't appear to be as bad, having lost their first three, but they've rebounded and won some. Kansas State has seemed to have found themselves. Where are they in the mix of this? It's a fun thing to watch because we really don't know. Maybe about, I'd say probably I put it in the neighborhood of 12 teams in this league. We really don't know how good those teams, any of those 12 teams are on any given Saturday. And I think the league is winning because of that. Let's not allow people to pick who they think are the best. Let's just allow everybody to go into this season, and we'll just let it play out. Well, I think it's playing out exactly the way the Big 12 had hoped that it would, because it's creating a lot of intrigue with this conference.
And Dragon Ball, let's not forget, everybody talks about ASU being picked last. They won the conference. Oklahoma State was picked third.
And they are last
place. They had
place.
14 first-place votes. They went 0-9.
Yep.
So, everybody focuses on the ASU part of it, but Kansas was really highly thought of going into last season. They didn't have a great year. So, I agree with you, DK. Dragon Ball, we talked quite a bit about the parity. No preseason poll in the football side of things. But like DK questioned, who are the good teams in this conference?
We're talking about it where we're not sure about 12 of these teams and just going back and forth about it, saying, well, this could be a 5-7 team. This could be a 7-5 team. This could be a 12-win team. And all I can think of is like, man, are we talking about the Big 12? Or are we going back to the Pac all of a sudden? Because we're just talking about that cannibalistic mentality the Pac used to have, where there were a lot of good teams in that conference, but it's just that they would beat each other to no end.
Well,
and all of a sudden you would lose a lot of the good faith the Pac would have in regards to which of these teams is potential to be a heavy bowl favorite.
I would say for the last 10 years, it was, can you get a win over Oregon, USC, or Stanford for the longest time? Yep. Those three teams were perennially in the top 10, and everybody else was cannibalizing on each other. Here we have a situation where, the Texas Tech's a very good team. Outside of that, there's a whole bunch of, are they the 15th team in the country, or are they the 30th team, or the 50th team?
And even that, BYU was a situation where they were one of those outside teams looking in on the last day of maybe being one of the wild cards in that national playoff. And all of a sudden, we're looking at BYU. They're sitting right now at also 6-0, same as Texas Tech. And we're still not sure, is this going to be the team that represents the conference?
We're going to find out, because Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech, TCU, Cincinnati, UCF, that's their final 6 games.
They're going to find
They got a lot of tough games coming up.
We're going to find out quickly, and it depends on how good. This is going to be the other part that's a problem, too, is how good do they look in winning those games? Because if they're not doing what the Ohio States, the Oregons, and the like are doing, where they're winning games by some 30-something points, it's not going to be viewed highly on. It's like, well,
you mean
they'll win.
The Indianas of the world.
Suddenly now the Indianas of the world now doing that. But
Suddenly.
If BYU and Texas Tech don't win their games by at least, 3 scores, people are going to say, well, the Big 12 will still probably end up being that 5th, maybe that 4th seed when it all's said and done when it comes to their conference winner. So that's going to be the big thing going into the final couple weeks of the season.
I mean, while we're talking Pac-12 versus Big 12, let me just point out that BYU, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, and Utah are all top 25 teams this week currently. And there's cusp teams as well. Houston, Arizona State, Baylor, they're all right on the cusp. I don't remember that in the last 10 years of the Pac. I remember a lot of 6-6 squads, and same as basketball. Same as the basketball side of things. It's much nicer to play in a conference where you have net ranking wins. Now, it's much different in football. You only got 13-ish games to play. 4-2 is 4-2, however you slice it. Doesn't matter. But there are so many quality teams on the schedule for everybody that if you start out maybe 1-2 in conference, there is a chance you can come back, get in the bowl subcommittee's mind, and at least on their radar.
So very crucial weekend, very crucial Saturday for Arizona. Again, they are 1-2, but they are still now on the bottom half of the 16 with that 1-2 record in conference. And Houston is on the upper side of that. They are one of the 4 2-1 teams, so they could put themselves in a nice position with a win hit home on homecoming to be 3-1. And the Wildcats, if they were to lose, obviously now you're 4-3, 1-3 heading into your bye week, and there's going to be a lot of uneasiness. And you really don't want. I don't want to have to sit through 2 weeks of the uneasiness about this program. Then you would be going into Colorado literally playing for your season, I think, because if this team falls into a 3-game losing streak, and again, you take them 1 game at a time, but then that's when the doors, I think, could potentially fall off of this wagon. And the burning down of the village that Danny Gonzalez talked about this week would be, the torches would be out in full effect.
I got wood right here, DK, and I'm going to go ahead and knock on it. But I will say that what you just described of last year's falling apart and the wheels coming off the bus and all that coincided with losing your 3 defensive captains. And then Manu was injured during the Colorado game. He missed the last 5 games. That's not happened so far this year. The sheer amount of talent, DK, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that was not available for the Wildcats, the 2024 campaign, their first year in the Big 12. Definitely the way that Coach Gonzalez has them playing is a super high positive as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't know how a lot of fans see it out there, but this second half of the Big 12 schedule this year has a lot of positive outlooks relative to last year when you don't have a deep bench. You don't have a lot of guys who can come in and fill those roles of your defensive captains who go down, maintain relative healthiness throughout the season. It's a tough conference, but so far so good. I mean, it's been the storyline, DK, has been Arizona has been putting players from opponents on the sideline these last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Talked about it quite a bit in the post game. There's a lot of, they're coming with red line, they're coming with force and violence and all those things we hear the coordinators say. It's showing up on the roster reports, and so far Arizona's looking pretty good. But I don't know how to answer your question. Still don't know how to answer your question. I think Texas Tech is a very, very quality team. I think that's a legit top 10 team right now. I think, from what we've seen from BYU, if they keep that roster together again, I think that's a team that could go down to the stretch of the Big 12 and fight for that title. But beyond that, I mean, it's really tough. It's tough to tell you, how good are the Utes? How good are the Sun Devils? How good are the Bears? That whole thing. So there's still a lot of questions to be answered.
Cincinnati, obviously, they've got they're playing at Oklahoma State this weekend, so you figure that's going to be another win for them. Then they get Baylor at home, and they've played very well at home. Their final 4 games is going to be the gauntlet for them. They'll play at Utah, home to Arizona, home to BYU, and at TCU. So they've got, to me, the most favorable schedule in terms of what's left. So definitely they could be a team that is able to stay in the mix just because, again, they don't have to play Texas Tech this year, just like U of A doesn't have to play Texas Tech this year, and they get BYU at home, much like Arizona did. And so we'll see. We'll see we'll see how things shake out for the Bearcats. But again, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch over the course of the final 6 weeks.
You know how a relatively quote-unquote easy second half is the Red Raiders. I mean, they have to go to Sun Devil Stadium.
Right.
They still have to play BYU at home. But outside of that, they've got UCF, West Virginia, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. Those are not top teams in the league. Some of those are some great all-time programs, especially the Oklahoma State Cowboys. But this year, maybe not so much. So, yeah, Texas Tech looking at 6-0, looking like they might have 2 challenges along the way. But like I said, the BYU Cougar schedule is the one that's pretty crazy down the stretch.
Absolutely. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We want to hear from you, your thoughts on what might happen in the morning. 9 a.m. Kickoff in Houston, Texas. Our coverage begins bright and early. I'm setting like 2 alarms. I got my wife calling me at 6 a.m. Cleveland time to make sure I'm up by 3 because we'll be on the air at 4:30 in the morning here tomorrow. So if you're making pastries, or if you're up making pastries, you want to drop some off to the station, we'll take some of that for sure.
I brought in pastries for Kelvin and Glenn 20 times, and I think they've eaten them once. It's because
those 2 guys,
despite being borderline older men now, they still have their their body fat count percentage is infinitely lower than mine. So
They take care of their bodies. That's
if
for
there's
sure.
no sugar involved, maybe they'll
Yes.
have some.
All right, we got Arizona volleyball playing right now at Central Florida. We'll update you on that coming up. That match has just started, a tough 3-game road stretch for those ladies. This might be the telling part of their schedule as well. So we'll dive into all of that. Kim Dotz is going to join us. We'll talk some U of A women's athletics with her coming up later.
I do
this
have an answer
hour.
to a question you asked.
Okay.
The last time Rice was good was 2013 and 14, where they won back-to-back bowl games. Since then, they haven't had a winning record.
Okay. There you go.
Rice Owls, not good for 12 years.
Not good. Not good. They can still play a little baseball, though. I think that's about it. Cricket's getting you home. She'll have everything happening in southern Arizona as well coming up later. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with traffic and weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Grant and Alvernon and Grant Road crash involving a motorcyclist and some slowing at that intersection. We've got other collisions that are reported working Rex, Palo Verde, and Benson Highway. Thornydale north of Cortero Farms Road, and also Congress and I-10 reported on Congress at I-10. And I'm Cricket. And for your weather, 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow, 78 now. It's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing.
A Neighborly company.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Cool things down with energy-efficient windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom-order windows to fit your style and budget. Choose from our SI window brand, made in the USA for quality you can trust, or custom order from top manufacturers for a perfect fit. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We've got another double dip night of baseball. American League Championship Series, National League Championship Series. At least one of these series is interesting at the moment.
Out the eighth pitch, a high line drive to right field. Canzone's going back. It's gone again. It's Jimenez out of the ninth spot, sparking the Jays for the second night in a row. Lightning strikes twice. A jolt from an unlikely source.
Andres Jimenez, the former Cleveland Guardian, with homers in back-to-back ball games, and all of a sudden, the Seattle Mariners are playing for their lives, trying to avoid going back to Canada, down in a series that they appeared to have control of, up 2-0 coming home, but they have now lost back-to-back games. And game number 5 of that series about to get underway up in Seattle. That's the first of the 2 games on this Friday. And, man, the kids from Canada have showed their mettle. Toronto and Seattle, they're now in the bottom of the first. No score early in that ball game right there. That is, we'll get you our BetMGM Network top play. So last night we had the Mariners and the Blue Jays over 7.5 runs. Over 7.5 runs last night. That came in thanks to the Jays, who have found their offense. What did they think? They scored, 14 runs, 13 runs? So they've scored 21 runs in the last 2 games up there.
Those lines makers are like, hey, they scored 17 runs last game. Let's just go ahead and put this on the over.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this series has got a lot of runs.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them.
Over 7.5. So we had over 7.5 on that when we took the over on that. We got that with a nice clean 10. So we did get a victory there. Thursday night football last night. Your boys just kind of let it slip away there at the end, but the Icy Hot Bowl lived up to its billing for sure.
The Unk Bowl, as it's also known as. But no, that defense.
When did that? So first of all, when did that phrase?
No, we're not having the conversation
when did that
about
phrase
Unk.
come to? Because I've only really been hearing that phrase like recently. Obviously, we heard it in fall camp with the Wildcats calling
it started
calling Traden Stukes Unk, and then I had that rant about Amari DiMercado a few weeks ago, and somebody responded to the one of the posts on that. Come on, Unk, like to say,
you
like,
should know
why
this
are
one,
you,
DK.
Why are you being such an angry old man?
It happened in Cleveland.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a young player out of Duke University by the name of Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
And he had a commercial
series
that's right, with a character called Uncle Drew.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was a 20-year-old dressing like a 80-year-old and schooling guys on. And then they made a movie about it. But, I mean, I'm sure Unk might have been used to describe seniors from freshmen in college prior to that. But the way I see it is after Uncle Drew, Unk has been used quite a bit to describe somebody who's been around a little bit longer than you have. It has to call you can't call someone Unk if you're also an older person. It's more like a younger person to an older person as a ribbing kind of thing.
Yeah, no, and to put it also into a context of when it started coming about, let's not forget, this is now a word that is recognized by the Merriam-Webster dictionary now. That is in there as slang. And that's been going around. I mean, they've got examples of it going back to 2024. So I want to say it's been around for at least 2, maybe 3 years now. But that's officially in the lexicon of the English language now.
Is there something in the Merriam dictionary for this new 6'7", whatever everybody's doing?
No, there's no explanation for that. There's no explanation for it.
We had that. Our guy Bryce James and Desiree's son. They put out a picture of the whole 6'7" phenom that I spent like 15 minutes trying to look up what that was about the other day. I was like, I can't.
It's a dumb song. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
It's a dumb lyric from a dumb song, and the dumber the better, and that's how this generation sees things. The dumber the better.
Yeah, there you go. He says it doesn't mean anything.
No.
Doesn't mean anything whatsoever.
And like memes is like from 10 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But anti-memes is the newest. Like the more modern trend, DK, is jokes without a punchline.
Jokes without a punchline. There you go. All right, so last night we had Joe Flacco over 37.5 passing attempts in that ball game. We hit that one pretty easy as well in Thursday night football, as Joe Flacco finished 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. How about that performance for the elderly statesman? His counterpart, Aaron Rodgers, was 23 of 34, 249, 4 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, even though Joe Flacco had such a great game, we did not get the receiving that we thought we might get out of the backfield from Chase Brown. He had a good running game, 11 carries, 108 yards, but he only caught 2 passes, and they went for -8 yards. We had Chase Brown over 18.5 receiving yards, so we lost on that. So we had 3 plays last night. We went 2 for 3. And let's see what we've got. Actually, we don't have anything. Actually, we do have something for tonight, because I believe this game is tonight.
Be careful with USC in South Bend. I'm Sammy Pete, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM network. The public loves USC, but the line is moving toward Notre Dame. 7.5 to now 9.5 at BetMGM. The Irish offense is cooking, and that team needs to win big to impress the committee. I'm laying the points. I'm Sammy P. from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. And please, gamble responsibly.
All right, so that game actually is tomorrow. And how about that? They are saying take Notre Dame and lay the 9.5 points against the USC Trojans in the annual game between those two schools.
I mean, the Trojans have handled everybody this year except for the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I mean, look at the scores. I mean, they beat Michigan. Not that Michigan State's great this year, but by 2 touchdowns. They beat Michigan handily. It's just that Indiana blip. So, I don't know. I mean, that's a good offense for sure.
So that is right now is at -115. Notre Dame over USC at -9.5 is at -115 at BetMGM Network. Your $12.90 bet on that one will get you $11.22. This other game that we have actually is tonight. California, the Golden Bears are home tonight against Bill Belichick, and North Carolina.
So everything you just said is weird. Every single thing, a part of that sentence doesn't make sense to 10-year-ago me. It doesn't make any sense.
No sense.
California at home against North Carolina and Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick is bringing his North Carolina Tar Heels into a conference game versus the Cal Bears. None of that makes sense.
Not whatsoever. And California being an 8.5-point favorite in that game. BetMGM Network says lay the points and take the Bears over the lowly Tar Heels, who limp in at 2-3. Cal is 4-2 and 1-1 in the ACC, so they're looking to go above 500 in league play with a win tonight. That's -110 right now over at the BetMGM Network. So your $12.90 bet will get you back $11.73 if you take Cal and lay the 8.5 over North Carolina. If you want to make these bets in person, head out to Soul Sports at the Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol is an official sponsor of DK on the Sports Tip and Wildcats Radio 1290, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and you can play some golf out at the beautiful Sawilo Golf Club there. North Carolina and Cal, that kicks off at 7:30. That's one of two games in the top 25 tonight, as number 2 Miami will host Louisville here at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock. All right, so that's what you've got this weekend. We didn't get any NFL games for the weekend. That's odd, but it is what it is. So we got you 2 college games coming up, and we'll review. But you want to hear how far we're behind right now? Because we've lost a lot lately.
I would imagine we're probably reaching that 350.
Well, we actually right now are sitting at an even negative $369.
Okay.
In the hole, but we were actually, because we had 2 wins yesterday, so we were actually at minus or a negative 381.38 after the games the other night. So we were inching close to 400, and we still could get there the way things have been going. Our overall record in this 162 bet stage is 44-68. So we are 24 bets under 500 with about, what is that? That's 112. So we got about 50 bets to go in this current stage that we are in right now. All right, so hopefully we'll make some of that up over the weekend. We'll tell you all about it on Monday. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Now, the other thing that we've been having going on here is I'm about to give you an opportunity to win $1,000. It's the 5K a day giveaway. And how this works is 5 times a day, we give you a national keyword, your chance to win $1,000. We give you one keyword between 6 and 9. We give you another keyword between 9 and 11, another one between 11 and 2. And then on our show, we give you a keyword between 2 and 4 and another one between 4 and 6 every evening. So 2 live chances on our show to win $1,000. And one of those live chances is coming at you right now. So get ready to text this national keyword to 95819. These are the last 2 of the keywords for this week. We've got about a week and a half to go left with this promotion, so you'll get keywords all next week and then keywords for part of the week after next, leading into the end of the month. So officially, we've got 8, if my math is right, 8 days. 8 days after today left of our 5K a day giveaway. So here you go. Your national keyword right now is bank. Bank, B-A-N-K. If you're going to win $1,000, you might want to put some of that $1,000 in the bank and not go out and spend it all in one place at one time. Text bank right now to 95819. Your chance to win $1,000. It's the 5K a day giveaway. Text that word bank, 95819. We will text you back a reply. Text and messaging rates may apply. As always, please do not be driving while you do this. Just pull over right now. If you're on the streets, pull over, pull out your phone. Make sure that short code is in there, 95819. Call it whatever you want. DK is giving away money every day or something of that nature, and then you'll have it right in your phone when that national keyword goes your way. Bank right now, 95819. So that's one keyword. I'm going to give you another keyword coming up after 4 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to talk some Arizona women's athletics. The Wildcats volleyball team won set number 1 of their match down in Central Florida. They almost gave it away. They were up 24-19 and had to win 26-24. So they allowed Central Florida to come all the way back and tie the match, but they were able to close it out. So now they're up 1 set, down 2-1 currently in set 2 of a best of 5, trying to win the first of 3 straight matches on the road.
You know, momentum is a thing in all sports. Like, you know, you get a quick turnover, pick 6 or whatever, you're feeling good about yourself in football, a couple of, steal and 3-pointers in basketball. But volleyball, DK, like, I've never seen momentum physically manifest as much as in volleyball like that.
Yeah.
Like, you really will see those runs of 4 straight points by a team so often. So 19-23 and getting it done in their first. You just gotta find a way to get through those moments.
Yeah, well, they were up 7-1 at the beginning. They jumped out to a quick 7-1 lead, and then I looked up and it was 14-14. So that is the sport of volleyball for sure. We're going to talk to Kim Doss all about that as well. We also today are going to talk some Arizona-Houston football. Kevin Eschenfelder will join us. He is the play-by-play man for the Houston Cougars. We'll get an update on what's happening over there. How good do they think they are at 5-1? We'll ask Kevin Eschenfelder that question. Also, don't forget, we've got basketball tomorrow at McHale Center, Arizona St. Mary's in a Division I exhibition game. First time that we've had one of these for the Wildcats. I mean, a real opponent, the winners of the West Coast Conference. For parts of the last 3 years. They won a game in the NCAA tournament, got to the second round last year, beat Vanderbilt before losing to Alabama. So this is a team that knows a little bit about basketball. They got one of the winningest coaches in college basketball right now in Randy Bennett. So we're going to chat with Ryan Barnett from St. Mary's about the Gales that are coming in here with our former compadre, Paulius Morauskas, who's turning into a pretty good player for them. And we'll find out just how good coming up with Ryan Burnett. That'll be in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk Houston, Arizona in the 4 o'clock hour. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s. It is your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions, Alvernon and Grant. That wreck is involving a motorcyclist at Grant and Alvernon and some slowing at the intersection. Other collisions, Thornydale north of Cortero Farms Road. Congress at I-10, also Benson Highway in Palo Verde, and some backups for traffic on Swan at Grant Road. For your weather, 55 and clear overnight, 83, sunny tomorrow, and 89 on Sunday, 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop fall savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen this fall with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with Sphere Ice. Only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss fall appliance savings at the Home Depot. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that? Yeah, but... And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications. Yeah, but... Then Gary says something ridiculous. Yeah, but... And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather. Yeah, but... And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns. Yeah, but... And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Boscoyaki Tribe.
$1,000 is a pretty good chunk of change.
All right, yeah!
And we're giving you 5 chances a day to win.
All right!
5 winners a day, $1,000 each every weekday. That's $5K a day.
No freaking way.
Listen for the national text keywords weekdays 5 times a day for your chance to win $1,000 with $5K a day.
Oh my God!
5 chances to win $1,000. $5K a day.
Keep listening for your chance to text the national keyword right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Next Roll is a groundbreaking podcast created and executive produced by Vernon Davis.
Combining cinematic storytelling with thought-provoking conversations.
The series explores the transformative journeys of athletes, artists, comedians, and entrepreneurs
as they redefine their careers and push their creative boundaries.
Next Roll isn't about what's next.
It's about fear they had to fight through, the resilience, and what they had to do to achieve everything at the highest level possible.
Next Roll with Vernon Davis.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
I'm Bill Ryder of the Sports Minute, and it turns out that Joe Flacco is still the guy you can turn to in a pinch. He's the reason the Ravens won that Super Bowl so many years ago, and he was Comeback Player of the Year in Cleveland 2 seasons ago. Turns out, even in his 40s, even having been traded from Cleveland in the middle of the season, Joe still has it. And that means the Bengals still do too, as in have a chance to keep their season alive until Burrow returns in December. I'm Bill Ryder.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to bring you all of the insights from our Arizona insiders. Our insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
All right, let's talk some Arizona women's athletics as we do normally quite a bit with our friend from AZ Desert Swarm. Kim Das joins us on the program. Kim, we're sitting in studio here. We've got Arizona volleyball up on the television right now, up 1-0 at Central Florida, but down 11-8 in set number 2. This is a pretty critical 3-game road stretch for them, coming off an upset at home, a sweep upset of number 16 Baylor. I did not get a chance to see much of that Baylor game, but I would imagine I was at the Colorado game the couple nights before, but I would imagine that was probably their best, the best they've played all season. What did you like about the way the Cats handled that match against Baylor?
Consistency, probably. That Colorado match, they should have won that. They gave 2 sets away where they were there. They were their sets. And I think that's the biggest thing for them is being able to stay consistent and not fall off late in sets.
How would you categorize Carly Cisneros' second season so far? I mean, I've only seen the one game live, but I've watched a couple other games, and it seems to me though that at times I see her struggling a little bit out there. I'm not sure if maybe that's just what I'm seeing, but how would you categorize her sophomore season so far?
Well, I think that that she's trying to add the more aggressive offense to her game because they need it from her. You know, Jalen Hodge was a big scorer for them last year. So she could focus more, Carly could focus more on her wheelhouse, which is serve receive. So, you know, I've seen where she goes back and forth, where she's aggressive and then maybe not so much. So I think she's putting new parts of her game. She's learning, and there may be ups and downs with that. There may be bumps in the road.
Kim Doss joining us, AZ Desert Swarm, talking Arizona women's athletics. Obviously, the ladies are on the road now. This is a critical, I mentioned, 3-game stretch for them as they are playing today at Central Florida. And then they've got road games coming up as well on Sunday at Houston. And then they'll be at Iowa State. So a lot of travel involved, at least in the first two parts of this before they come home against Arizona State. What have you heard just kind of how they've been handling a lot of this new travel and how it works in terms of trying to stay on a competitive clock to be able to play?
Well, I do know that for the Iowa State game, they're going to get to charter home. Because the way the Big 12 scheduled, Arizona has to play Thursday in Ames and then has to be back in Tucson to play ASU, a top 10 team, on Saturday.
Right, yeah.
And they're not allowed to practice if they're traveling. So if they were still traveling after midnight on Friday, that means no practice. And going into ASU with no practice. So, you know, they had their fundraiser, their golf tournament over the summer. That's helped some. And then Rita Stubbs was very appreciative of administration, you know, letting them get this charter. But in general, it's just kind of pushed through. You know, you got to do it because you got to do it, and no one's going to feel sorry for you.
Arizona soccer falls last night, a tough 3-2 defeat at BYU, and they've hit a little bit of a losing skid here. It's a young team that Becca Moros has here in her 5th season. I would imagine at this point it's going to be very tough for them to make the NCAA tournament.
It's going to be very tough for them to make the Big 12 tournament. You know, the Big 12 tournament only takes the top 8 teams.
Right.
And right now, last I looked, before the loss last night, they were in, I think, 10th or 11th, 10th, I think. But, you know, they're not going to have enough wins to get in at the rate they're going. And they've hit the part of their schedule that's really tough, mostly ranked teams. And with them, the Big 12 schedule is also weird, where they had to play at BYU, then they have to fly back and play number 12 Texas Tech here, and then next week they play home, and then they have to fly and play somewhere else on Sunday.
Yeah, they'll play Texas Tech at home this Sunday. The 3 of their next 4 games, 3 of their final 4 regular season games are at home, but you mentioned they've got to play at home against Texas Christian on Thursday and then go to Colorado and play on Sunday. So they've had quite a few of these split weekends on the backside of the schedule, and that's never an easy thing to navigate when you're talking about trying to stay competitive. Right now, 2-5 in Big 12 play. What are you seeing right now with this roster? Obviously, I mentioned it's young. Is it young though, set up for potential success? Obviously, this is 5 seasons now for Becca Moros, and you're looking at 5 seasons with no NCAA tournament berth.
Right. You know, I do think they have the offensive talents, but I think there may be a lack of confidence or aggressiveness in some of them. You see on their offense a lot of almost being timid when it comes time to shoot, like wanting it to be perfect before they take the shot. And, you know, you're never going to make a shot you don't take. And, you know, too often it feels like they're not taking shots that are there. So if they can get that drive, that aggressiveness, they've got a ton of talent.
Arizona, go ahead.
No, but you don't know, you don't know how to pull that out of people sometimes,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kim Doss is our guest. Arizona Desert Swarm. She writes all things Arizona women's athletics. This weekend, we've got not a sport in season, but the Arizona softball team is in the midst of their fall schedule. And they've got a couple of games at home tonight at Hillenbrand Stadium against Benedictine Mesa, and then they'll also be playing Chandler Gilbert tonight. And they had the red-blue scrimmage last week. I don't remember them doing that in the past. Was that a new thing? The red-blue scrimmage?
Yep, it was. It was a new thing, and it was cool. It was a little hard to follow because everyone didn't have the regular numbers on.
Yeah.
But it did give an idea of what the team has, and it was fun. So I'm glad they did that. I think it was a good thing, and especially it gives them one more practice against in a competitive environment against a Power 4 lineup, even if it is their own.
Right. We've got the beginnings of Arizona women's basketball in the Becky Burke era coming up next Thursday with the first of their exhibition games. What were your takeaways from Media Day? I love the setup they had this year where we kind of all got a chance to sit down and talk at length with the team. Obviously, a lot of energy and excitement. They're not picked to finish very high by the coaches. I think it was they came in at was it 10th or 14th? I can't remember off the top of my
14th.
Yeah, 14th.
Yeah.
So not a lot of folks are anticipating a whole lot, but hey, that can be good. That means the only place you can go is up.
Right. From Media Day, what I got, my biggest takeaways actually came from the practice before we talked to them. Because I was in practice a lot last year, and it just never seemed like there was a lot of affection between players. And it did seem like they liked each other, like they were supportive, that they were a group. They were one.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important with the way, they're going to be facing some uphill battles. And so I think it's really important that they coalesce as a group.
There you go. Should be interesting. 13 home games to start the season. They will not go on the road till New Year's Eve. So they'll have plenty of time to get to know each other and get that home cooking and hopefully be ready to go come that first Big 12 game on the road on New Year's Eve. Kim, always appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. You can follow everything that she does. She is on Twitter as well as on the other social media accounts. KimDoss71 on Twitter, at AZ Desert Swarm as well. Kim, thank you as always.
Thank you. Take care, DK.
Kim Doss, AZ Desert Swarm, with everything happening in Arizona women's athletics. Volleyball now, second set down 19-13 at Central Florida.
Nobody brings you the inside scoop on your Arizona Wildcats like we do. Today's Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
All right, hour number one in the books. We're going to talk some Arizona football coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Kevin Eschenfelder, the voice of the Houston Cougars, will join us. We'll get you your preview of the Cougs. Right now, Dragon Ball David Amata has everything happening here in Southern Arizona sports, as well as sports around the world.
Well, again, Arizona football has just over 12 hours between now and kickoff out in Houston as they look to get their first road win of the year and their first since the victory over Utah last season. Now, going into this contest, it projects.
That means we're under 12 hours to our pregame show, right?
Yes, we are under 12 hours to the pregame. So going into this contest, though, it projects to be potentially a very big defensive slugfest. Both squads currently with some of the best defensive units in the Big 12. Arizona sitting just third in fewest yards per game surrendered, with Houston just 3 spots behind them at 6. And the Suns will be without one of their offseason acquisitions for at least the start of the early part of the season. Jalen Green, the guard, has reportedly re-aggravated his hamstring injury following the team's preseason finale against the Lakers, where he was held out. As well, the injury looks to have him sidelined for at least the home opener, but it could end up being longer depending on Green's rehab from the strain. And it was a barn burner in the Icy Hot Bowl we mentioned earlier. Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, with a combined age of over 80 years, put on a clinic in a shootout between the two veteran signal callers, and it all came down to whether or not Rodgers still had some of that Hail Mary magic left in him.
3 seconds, down 2 points. Rodgers takes the shotgun snap. He fades. He rolls to the near left. Rodgers steps into it. He heaves a long arcing effort into the end zone. Knocked down by the Bengals, and that's the game. DJ Ivey got up playing deep safety and swats it down. The volleyball finish, and Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh 33-31 in a Thursday night thriller.
Again, with the loss, the Bengals now sit just a game behind Pittsburgh for the top spot in the AFC North as they prepare for Flacco's old squad and the Jets next Sunday. While the Steelers, they turn their attention to Rodgers' former team in the Green Bay Packers for Sunday night. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. Touchdown, Arizona! With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With a collision reported at Alvernon and Grant, serious crash occurred there involving a motorcyclist. At Grant and Alvernon, just north of the intersection, going to be some restrictions and backups. Also reported Congress at I-10 and Thornydale north of Cortero Farms Road. Some slowing on westbound Ajo at Mission and on eastbound I-10 approaching Ajo Keno. 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow, 89 on Sunday, and 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Kick off your week with Wildcats Radio 1290 for Modelo Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Union Public House. Enjoy a refreshing Modelo, spin to win prizes, and more. Sponsored by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans, an official partner of Arizona Athletics.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
So hot. I can help you.
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our program on this Friday. Hope you have exciting plans for the weekend. We'll be here all day tomorrow talking basketball and football with you. Arizona football at 9, Arizona basketball at 1:30. The first exhibition game against the St. Mary's Gales. It's going to be a homecoming for Paulius Morauskas, who spent a season here 2 years ago with the Arizona Wildcats and got to be obviously very friendly with his fellow Lithuanian big man, Motiejus Krivas. We had a chance to hear from Motiejus yesterday at the press conference ahead of the exhibition opener, and Motiejus talked about his buddy, Paulius Morauskas, and, the fact that they played together here for a year, and they've still kept in touch, even though Paulius is now a member of the St. Mary's Gales.
I remember that we both came here as a freshman, and it was a new experience for both of us. We had a really good team, and just remember spending time with him, sharing the court together, so only good memories.
Do you guys still keep in contact at all? Do you talk? Yeah, and how's things going for him there? What's he saying about his experience at St. Mary's?
It's going great. He's excited for season. He's excited to come here to play, so it's going great.
Were you surprised just how he seemed to fit into their system and, played? He was WCC Newcomer of the Year last year. How well he played?
I wasn't surprised because I always knew what level of player he is, so I think it's just the start for him.
Were you able to kind of reconnect with Paulius over the summer in Lithuania?
Yeah.
And just what was that like?
We went fishing together.
Where'd you go?
To the lake. Just.
In Lithuania?
Yeah.
How far back do you guys go, by the way? Do you play like club ball together when you were kids, or
We always played against each other, and we would play in the national team together. So.
Since how old about?
16.
So this whole fishing thing, how long you been fishing? What do you like to try to catch?
I've been fishing my whole life. I started with my dad and brother, and just keep fishing here too. Yeah.
Is there certain fishes that you like that your favorites, or what are you usually trying to catch?
Big fish.
Just big fish.
Do you cook them?
No, I release them. Yeah.
Oh. When you guys are back there like that, I mean, do you ever talk about or just reflect on just the fact that, yeah, you guys are from Lithuania and you're back there, but you've had these other lives over here and different experiences and just going to college and all that stuff. How does that be?
All right, that was Paul. I should say Moteas Krivas. Don't call him Mo. Moteas Krivas, talking about his buddy, and that is, of course, Paulius Morauskas, who had a really great year. 12 points, 8 rebounds, was the newcomer of the year in the West Coast Conference last year, and leading that team to the championship in the conference. They beat Gonzaga twice, but lost to Gonzaga in the conference tournament. So Gonzaga got the best of them in the end. But like I mentioned, went to the NCAA tournament and have a pretty solid squad coming back again this year. Now, I mentioned Paulie's played 1 year here at the University of Arizona. And J-Dub, I'll play these from over here. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd first, kind of just on what happened with Paulius's decision to leave the University of Arizona.
I can't speak for him on his decision, but from my perspective, somebody who knows college basketball, he picked a perfect place to take advantage of his skill set and his strengths. And I know he had a lot of other opportunities, maybe some to play in some bigger conferences or bigger names, but he made a really mature decision, and he's playing in a great program. And I don't think he could have made a better basketball decision than the one he made.
Tommy, obviously Paulius Morauskas was here. What are the reports you guys are getting on where he is now?
Well, Murrah is a great person, and we really enjoyed having him here. I think he's found a great spot for him, and I'm really happy for him. And I think he had a good year for St. Mary's last year, and I think he's poised to have a great year this year. I mean, he's an all-conference type player for them, and sometimes you come to a place and it doesn't work out for whatever reason. But I will say this: like Murrah was nothing but a class act when he was here. I think he had come with the intention of playing, and I had hoped he would play. It just didn't work out. And ultimately I'm responsible for that. So I'm happy that he's kind of found his footing and he's pushing forward. All of the guys that have played for us are transfers. I really appreciate them. They've really been able to add value to our program, and ultimately, in this day and age, sometimes they got to make different decisions to take advantage of their individual opportunities. And so I'm cool with guys exercising that right. But I'm also thankful for what they were able to give us. And Murrah was a great guy to have around every single day, and he's a heck of a player. And, I'm sure he's, excited to play against us and wants to give it to us a little bit, and as he should.
And I don't remember the nickname Murrah when he was here, but that's obviously maybe what he was referred to or inside of the program. It was interesting because I guess the thing that Bruce asked about in the press conference was that I guess Tommy had said after Paulius left that he had some trouble adapting to playing the 4 the way that Tommy's system calls for that position to be played. And obviously you have a lot of these guys, and we'll hear maybe coming up a little bit later. I'd asked him just kind of how you have a lot of these international players, some who can adapt more quickly than others to not only the American game, but just to the American culture. Like, I remember the first time we had a chance to talk to Ivan Karchenkov, one of the new freshmen this year, I was surprised at how quick a grasp of the English language that Ivan had, and I think that definitely maybe allows guys to maybe not only assimilate quicker into this environment, but might allow them to play quicker because they pick up on things more quickly than some of these guys like maybe Paulius Morauskas and Mateus Krivas who maybe didn't grasp the language as quickly when they first came over as freshmen.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Language, the speed and physicality of the American game is a lot different. There are pluses, however, of growing up in Europe, DK. They do semi-pro at 12, right? They don't play junior high and high school basketball. It doesn't exist. They don't have college basketball. What they have is you sign on with a pro team and you work under their juniors division. So they get to play against a lot of really, really quality basketball players of their own age. But that Euro style is a lot more passing game, a lot less individual athleticism and that whole thing. If you ask me, I mean, look at the roster when he was a freshman, right? They had Keyshawn Johnson transfer in as a fifth year at San Diego State. I mean, they had a lot of guys with a lot of experience come into the program. You had, obviously, Krivas. Pelle Larsson was a senior that year. Ballo was in his junior season. A lot of size and length and experience across that front line. Whatever they were asking him to do at the 4 that was unnatural for his standard, maybe 3. I know he liked to shoot the 3 ball a lot. Whatever that was behind the scenes, DK, you have to think that maybe he's looking at the roster construction, how they had brought in so many fifth-year guys that year as a freshman, and maybe thinking this is a program that's just going to reload every single year, and I may not get the 25 minutes I need in the American game to develop myself to one day become an NBA player. So I agree with Coach. I think he made the perfect decision. I mean, Randy Bennett is known for building guys up, taking maybe 2 stars and turning them into all-conference guys. That's what he's done there for 20-plus years. As far as turning it around, my only thing that shocked me a little bit, Dragon Ball, was his three-point percentage last year was underwater, was under 30%. Probably not exactly what they're looking for, but again, 12 points, always had that big body, was a good positional rebounder within his space. So not surprising to see him. And now that Sarunas Marshall-Lunas' son is no longer the player of the year in the WCC and is graduated out, I expect Paulius Morauskas to get quite a bit more run this year and maybe be the go-to scorer for that St. Mary squad.
Yeah, no, you absolutely have to see him maybe getting a bit more of the touches, more of the offensive focus going into it. And let's be honest here, there's a lot of times where we're looking at a squad for this year's Wildcat squad that is going through a major youth movement. I mean, this is going to be one of probably the youngest squads that is going to be ranked in the top 25 preseason. I mean, I don't know the exact age for all the other squads, but you're looking at a squad for the Cats this season where a lot of them are going about 19, 18 years old. So if you have that much youth movement, yeah, you're going to have to move some guys out and say, we got to open up things because you're not guaranteed. Even the freshmen that are on the bench majority of the time, they may not be there that long because of expectation from what their high school tape showed. Because somebody's going to get in there saying, yeah, you could probably go to the pros. They have the tape that they need. You don't need to have tape in college for someone to want to take a risk on you.
And if not pros, man, it's somewhere else. It's a one-year contract, right? Like the guy I always think of is Ruben Douglas. Ruben Douglas came in the late 90s, very good young basketball player, guard, scoring combo guard, on a team with Gilbert Arenas, right? A team with a lot of very quality backcourt players. Transferred out to New Mexico, led the nation in scoring after he couldn't get more than 8-10 minutes per game here on an Arizona roster. So sometimes it's not a matter of disgruntled young players. Sometimes it's just a matter of playing time and fit, and maybe Paulius Morauskas' fit, DK, isn't quite in that passing game Tommy Lloyd offense, but he's really thriving with Randy Bennett and St. Mary's Gales. So, again, everybody transfers out that isn't for a horrible off-court issue. I always root for those guys to do well.
All right, unlike most businesses here in Tucson where nobody works on Friday, here everybody works on Friday. We got the whole crew here. We got Dragon Ball, J-Dub. Cricket is in the house. Cricket.
Hello.
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it? It is the weekend. Woo! And there's a lot happening. Did you heard we're getting up really early? Tomorrow,
Oh,
right?
you guys have like a 14-hour day tomorrow. No wonder
Yeah.
you guys weren't excited about the weekend. I know you love your job, but that's a big,
what weekend?
big gig.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to close my eyes before 9 o'clock because I'm not used to having to do that.
You're a night owl.
You're
definitely a night
I
guy.
might have to take no, I don't know. I'm not going to do anything like that.
Are you talking about going to some sporting event tomorrow after the basketball game?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm making the Roadrunners.
You were talking about
no
going to the
no
Roadrunners, or was it the
disrespect to the
Cardinals?
Roadrunners, but
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to make it to that game tomorrow night, the home opener. But I'm sure I invite everyone else to get out there. What's happening this weekend here in Southern Arizona? Cricket?
Well, this weekend, you guys, I was going to say you're going to miss it, but maybe not. Tucson, Meet Yourself, downtown
Yes.
Tucson. It's until 10 tonight and 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. tomorrow and 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Sunday. And if you don't know what Tucson Meet Yourself is, it is literally 3 days of food from all over the world in downtown
man.
Tucson.
Yes.
I think 40 plus vendors this year. I mean, that's a lot of food. You can get more details in the schedule of everything and exactly where it is at TucsonMeetYourself.org. Spooky stuff. I know a couple of you aren't big fans of that. Nightfall at Old Tucson. You've got Terror in the Corn, and this is the last year for Slaughterhouse, so check that out. And maybe for some pumpkin picking, maybe for the kids, the Marana Pumpkin Patch, or make a day trip up to Wilcox at Apple Annie's. And do not forget to get their apple pie. It is the absolute best.
See, if I'm still awake, I could do Tucson Meet Yourself, then go to the hockey game, and then maybe come back and eat some more at Tucson. I'm not going to last that late.
That's a big day.
I will not be lasting past 10 o'clock tomorrow. But all kinds of great events for you all to go out there. And she's got more. She'll be back with us at 5 in the 5 o'clock hour with more about what's happening here in Southern Arizona. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes or to your high school football game this evening. We'll tell you the schedule on that as well. Here's Cricket.
And Alvernon and Grant. Oh, by the way, traffic. This is your Wildcats Radio 1290
Don't forget the
traffic
sponsors.
from the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. I was just so eager to jump right in. Grant and Alvernon. Pretty major collision occurred there on Alvernon north of Grant involving a motorcycle. Looks like southbound travel on Alvernon approaching Grant being diverted, and not only that collision there, but also road work. A lot of backups at Alvernon and Grant. 55 and clear overnight. Tomorrow, 83, 89 on Sunday, and 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER gets you out of plumbing danger.
Here's your shot at winning $1,000. It's $5K a day on Wildcats Radio 1290. Text the national keyword GRAND right now to 95819. That's GRAND to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and message rates may apply. Please don't text and drive.
Your shot at $5K a day is happening now. Listen for the national keyword 5 times each weekday. Then text the keyword to 95819. 5 winners, $1,000 each. $5K a day.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron.
Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, "Gary, why are you wearing that?"
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
From the shadows of your bathroom comes a villain with 2 pinchers, 1 stinger, and 0 respect for your home.
Scorpions can make your home feel like a scary movie. At Blue Sky Pest Control, we rewrite the script. We keep scorpions out of your home so your story stays drama-free. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, scorpions.
We are Casino del Sol. We are more than a casino. We are the moment, the energy, the escape. We are exquisite in every detail, unique in every experience, and unforgettable in every way. From thrilling games to world-class dining, electric nights to luxurious stays. We are fun, bold, extraordinary, and we are entirely original. We are the place you never want to leave. We are Casino del Sol. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light.
I'm Brett Lewis with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 7 of the NFL kicked off with a fantastic finish in Cincinnati. Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the Bengals needed Evan McPherson's 4th field goal of the night with just 7 seconds remaining to seal the deal against the Steelers, 33-31. Jamar Chase racked up a franchise record 16 receptions while also compiling 161 yards and a score to help Cincy snap their 4-game losing streak. Meanwhile, in D.C., NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting that Treylon Burks is expected to sign with the Washington Commanders practice squad. The former first-round pick spent 4 seasons for the Titans before being waived last week following a collarbone injury. In other news, Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans limited in his return to practice, while Mac Jones was upgraded to a full participant during Niners practice on Thursday. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
1 in 8 women will face breast cancer. But the Breast Cancer Research Foundation is changing that. With breakthroughs in prevention and treatment, we're not just saving lives, we're rewriting the future, giving those diagnosed more time to not just survive, but thrive. This is the moment. This is the mission. Support breast cancer research. Until 1 in 8 is none in 8.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona and Houston, it's going to be an early morning for us. Maybe not so early for the folks over in Houston. 9 a.m. kickoff Tucson time for this ball game here tomorrow. Let's talk about the contest with the voice of the Houston Cougars, Kevin Eschenfelder, joins us. And Kevin, it's interesting. You know, they did away with the preseason poll in the Big 12 this year, which might have actually been a genius idea, because I don't know that anybody really knows how good anybody is. I think we know Texas Tech is obviously probably the best team in this league. BYU seems to be pretty good, but outside of that, I'm not sure how good everybody else is. I'm not sure how good Arizona is. I look at your roster, I'm not sure how good Houston is, but you got to be happy, I would imagine, and everybody else around this program has to be happy with 5-1 after 6 games.
Yeah, exactly. I would have a lot more. There would be a lot more trouble, I guess, if you don't know who you are and you're 1-5 rather than 5-1. But a lot of people would like to have that problem right now. And you make a very fair point. I think Houston and Arizona are very similar in that regard, and I think that's why this is kind of a linchpin game for both of these teams to kind of figure out exactly where they are and who they are, given who they've played so far. You can only play who's on your schedule, and you try to beat who's on your schedule. And so far, so good for the Cougars. And Arizona's done pretty much the same as well.
And you obviously look at this 5-1. The one loss came to Texas Tech. What were your takeaways from what maybe didn't go right? Maybe some of the weaknesses you saw in that game against a top-line opponent for Houston.
Well, first things first, in that game, the Cougars turned the ball over more times in the first quarter than they had all season long going into that game. And that's not why they lost the game. They got beat by a better team on that night. There's no doubt about it. Texas Tech is very good. So I don't want to misconstrue this as saying, well, if they hadn't turned the ball over, they'd have been okay. Yes, they would have been better. But, a lot of times you turn the ball over because that other guys on the other side of the line are causing you to do it. And that's what Texas Tech does. They're a really, really good football team. And but Houston didn't help themselves out. And it was really the first time that they had just not played well. And again, it probably goes a lot back to the opponent, but at the same time, didn't play well, picked the wrong night to not play well. But I'm not taking an ounce away from what Texas Tech did. They were the better football team. They're a very good football team. Cougars would love to be where they are at some point. It's the second year of the Willie Fritz era here in Houston. And, I think they're ahead of schedule. I think everybody is happy where they are right now, but certainly they're not where Texas Tech is right now.
We're chatting with Kevin Eschenfelder. He's the radio play-by-play man for the Houston Cougars. It is Houston in Arizona. Down in Texas on Saturday. Let's go over some of the guys on the offensive side of the ball. We had a chance to chat with Stephon Johnson during Big 12 Media Days, and obviously he's dealing with a little bit of an injury. What's his status look like for tomorrow?
Well, you know what? It's one of those deals where we will find out when we find out. I'm not trying to be coy with you. I really don't know because you see these kids, sometimes they're listed as questionable, and next thing you know, they're out there running in warm-ups like nothing's going on at all. Or you see them going out there running in warm-ups and like nothing's going on at all, and then they don't play in the game. So we'll know when we know. I would tend to, I think he was listed the last time I saw. I think he was listed as doubtful. Is that fair?
Yes.
So, hey, take it for what it's worth. I don't think they would have put him doubtful had they expected him to play. So we'll see how that goes. But, they've got a pretty good receiving corps. It's one of the strengths of this team. And I think that, they've got some guys that can step up. A guy like Amari Thomas has been great for this team for the last 3 weeks. And was big again last week at Oklahoma State. And so that's another guy that needs to step up and certainly has.
Connor Wegman, new quarterback, pretty nice find out of Texas A&M. Can sling it, can run it a little bit. Wildcats had some trouble with the running quarterback from BYU last weekend. What have been the reports on how they feel about what they've gotten out of Wegman so far?
Got to be happy with what they've seen. There's no doubt. Connor Wegman was a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school, and dealt with injuries at Texas A&M. Didn't work out for whatever reason, but he's been really good. And he's a very good athlete. Does don't let the look of a pocket passer fool you. He can run with the football. He's the second leading rusher on this team, and so he's a very good athlete. He can do a lot of different things. He plays with a whole lot of grit. He's a leader type. He was the one that came in and said, you know what, we score every time we get the ball here in the second half, and they did at Oklahoma State. So he's that kind of guy, and they've been very happy with it. He went to Bridgeland High School, which is right here. It's in the Houston suburbs, and so he's happy to be here. Cougars are happy he is here, and so far it's been a great marriage.
Houston broadcaster Kevin Eschenfelder is our guest. Wildcats Cougars Saturday down in Houston. Hell of a catch, hell of a one-handed catch by Dean Connors last weekend in the win over Oklahoma State. It was interesting. I was listening to Willie Fretz's press conference, and he talked about how he's a leader, and it sounds a lot like one of our Texas guys in linebacker Riley Wilson, and it kind of stinks in a way that it seems like we're just now starting to get to know our guy Riley Wilson, and we're only going to have him for one season, and that kind of sounds like the same thing with the Dean Connors. Here's a guy that, man, this fan base could have really fallen in love with if he had been there for longer than one season.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. But then again, a guy could be a freshman in this day and age of college football today, and you never know if he's, they're all on one-year contracts at this point, let's be honest. But, yeah, Dean Connors spent his first couple of seasons at Rice. He's from Hawaii, and, he's just easygoing. You talked about being a leader, but, man, you see him get on the plane, and he's just as laid-back looking as you would possibly imagine. But he turns to a different guy once the game starts. Runs with a great deal of attitude, and that's not, a lot of times when you say that about a guy, you're thinking Mike Allstott who runs everybody over. He can do that, but at the same time, he can go around the corner. He can get down. Once he gets an edge, he can run away from guys too.
Yeah, I heard somebody compare him to Cam Scadaboo this week. That's the last thing we want to hear. Have to deal with that.
We may be getting a little over our skis here. I'm not going to. Cam Scadaboo is a different animal, and I hope Dean Connors. I would love for Dean Connors to be that one day, but let's not get too far ahead.
Over on the defensive side of the ball, you got the McCutcheon brothers. We had a chance to chat with Latrell earlier this summer, and Latravian had an interception last week. How's that duo performing at the top of, obviously, in the starting lineup for Coach Fritz?
Yeah, these are two guys that, Latravian plays up. They kind of found a spot for him. He was a linebacker, but they didn't love him at that linebacker spot, so they kind of made him a hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker. It depends on what coach is looking at it at the time as to whether or not what position he plays. But the other day he dropped into coverage, got that INT. Latrell, it's interesting because you see two brothers, you expect them to play similar positions, but you got one who's a stand-up defensive end, outside linebacker, and the other one's a cornerback, and they couldn't be built a whole lot different. But Latrell he's a pro prospect guy. You can look at him. He's got long arms, and he's got all the things that you want in a cornerback, and he's not afraid to come up and hit people. So they've been a lot of fun to watch.
What's kind of the any changes on the defensive side in terms of scheme from what we saw last year when you guys played here?
No, and that's I think what's a real plus. They did not play well defensively against you guys last year. Yeah. I think it was kind of last year was it's such a team game, and the fact that they were so bad offensively. I mean, they got shut out 3 times last year and scored 3 points in Tucson. So it gives you an idea. And that if your offense is not helping you out in that regard, that's going to hurt your defense as well. But the defense was good last year. I think it's just as good this year. Their defensive coordinator, Sheil Wood, left and went to Texas Tech. He's got that defense there at Tech now. And they have not missed a beat. I will tell you, they've lost some guys, like everybody's going to do every single year. But to their credit, and to Austin Armstrong, who they brought in a defensive coordinator from Florida, man, they have not missed a beat. They've been really, really good. They would have been absolutely blown out of that Texas Tech game had it not been for their defense. They held Tech. Tech's at one point, I think we were in the fourth quarter. Tech's average starting field position was like the 40-yard line. So it gave you an idea. It was short. They held Tech to 3 field goals in the early part of the game, which really kind of kept Houston somewhat in the game. Their defense has been good. And scheme, I don't know that I could really, they're aggressive sometimes. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes, they play smart and haven't given up very many big plays. That's been a big key.
And Eddie Walls coming off that edge. What kind of pass rusher is he?
You know, he's good against the run too, but he's that guy that can set that edge. And then you got a guy that can set the edge like him. And then there's a Carlos Allen, who this is almost unheard of in this day and age of football. You've got a nose tackle, an interior lineman that leads your team in tackles. That's hard to. He's number 5. You can't miss him, and he's really good. And he is a guy that he's kind of a game changer on the inside. Usually those guys are just there to occupy space, and linebackers come up and make the tackles and get the stats and the glory. But he leads all FBS schools, or he leads all FBS defensive linemen, I should say, in tackles. And you don't see many nose tackles leading their team in tackles.
Yeah, another transfer guy, obviously out of Florida.
Kennesaw State.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Eschenfelder is our guest. He's the play-by-play man for the Houston Cougars. Also grew up around the area there. Works some TV side with the Houston Astros. You keeping an eye on our guy Francisco Romero down there in Houston?
Yeah, I try to, but he's shifty. We got to. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We all love Francisco, man. You can't not love Francisco. But yeah, I just finished my 29th season with the Astros. So
wow.
Yeah, we've seen some really good times. So it's been a lot of fun.
And I understand your dad used to do some statistical work for the Oilers back in the day. What was that like growing up watching Oilers football?
It's interesting you say that because I did. I kind of grew up on the back bench of the Oilers radio booth, and to have it kind of come full circle. Yeah, my dad was an athletic trainer, and to make money on the side, he was a stats guy for Oilers radio for 35 years. And wow. I grew up as a kid. When I was 10 years old, I was passing out stat sheets in the Oilers press box. So yeah, I've been around it a while. That was about 10 years ago. I'm kidding. The interesting. I tell people this story. The interesting thing is, I can remember as a little kid, the owners would actually sit with the media, and when you'd pass out at the end of each quarter, you pass out the stat sheets. They would run in the copy machine, not even the kind of copy machine now, the old ink copy machines, and you would pass them out. And Al Davis and George Hallis and those guys back in those days would sit with the media. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it was a different time back then. That was for sure. And you got to see one of the greatest in Earl Campbell. You have any great Earl Campbell memories?
Just the Monday night game is the great Earl Campbell memory. But, just being around Houston Sports Hall of Fame and things like that I've kind of evolved into as my career has evolved. But and being able to kind of know these people a little bit as a person, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really special. Earl is certainly up there. The big three, the 34s, Team Olajuwon, Nolan Ryan, and Earl Campbell. That's kind of the start of the Mount Rushmore here in the city of Houston.
Wow, that is something for sure. Kevin, appreciate you taking some time to join us. Have a great call on Saturday, Wildcats and the Cougars.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Kevin Eschenfelder, he's the play-by-play man for the Houston Cougars. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported River Road east of Campbell River and Hacienda del Sol with eastbound slowing. Also reported Houghton to the north of Escalante, Harrison and Old Spanish Trail to Midtown, Alvernon, and Grant. Major collision occurred there on Alvernon to the north of Grant Road. And it looks like southbound traffic on Alvernon approaching Grant, travel there being diverted due to that collision. And for your weather, 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow and 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Do you know how much you're really paying for life insurance through work? I can almost guarantee you're overpaying for limited coverage. I'm Joel Clark, a Select Quote agent for over 20 years. My clients are shocked to learn how expensive life insurance at work really is because of a rate that's driven up by unhealthy people. Why pay more when you don't have to? For over 35 years, Select Quote has helped people save 50% or more by shopping highly rated insurance carriers. I found a 40-year-old man with high blood pressure, a $500,000 policy for only $18 a month. Don't procrastinate. Workplace open enrollment will be here soon. Let SelectQuote save you money and get you the coverage you need to protect your family.
For your free quote in just minutes, call 1-800-460-2211. 1-800-460-2211. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-460-2211. 1-800-460-2211. Details of example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-proof collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
This is Bill Ryder with a Sports Minute, sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The Los Angeles Dodgers aren't bad for baseball, but their dominance, their high spending, their ability to stack their roster with MVPs and Cy Young Award winners does remind us that the system that allows them to exist is bad for the sport. I'm Bill Ryder.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I've got another keyword that's going to be coming up for you a little bit later. A chance for you to win $1,000. So listen for that. I'll give that to you after the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Let's update you on what's happening down in Orlando, Florida. Arizona volleyball playing on the road in the Big 12 today, and currently in the fourth set, Arizona leading 2-1. Wildcats won the first set 26-24, lost the second set 25-18, won the third set 25-20, and lead 15-12 now in set number 3. So looking to try to close this thing out and move to 4-2 in the Big 12. That would be a great place for Rita Stubbs' teams to be, coming off an upset win over BYU at home and then going out on winning the first match of an important 3-game road trip as the ladies try to establish themselves as a contender here in the Big 12. So we will keep an eye on that. I mentioned that U of A soccer lost last night to BYU, so they fall to 7-8 now. They're 2-5 in the Big 12. They've got 4 matches remaining, so they'd have to over against Arizona State. They'll be home against number 12 Texas Tech Sunday at noon, so that's a huge one coming up for them at home this weekend. Roadrunners will be back home to open up their 10th season here in Tucson, Saturday and Sunday. Be there after our long day here, but you can get out and see the Roadrunners at 7 o'clock face-off against the Calgary Wranglers, and or go on Sunday at 4 o'clock. They'll take on the Calgary Wranglers over at the Tucson Arena. Arizona football is going to be on the road at Houston, a 9 a.m. kickoff tomorrow, taking on the Cougars. Now, one of the things, I'm going to play a couple things for you here. We had a chance earlier in the week to hear from Seth Dagey, and he talked a little bit about some of the issues in the red zone for the Arizona was if they need to run more in the end zone, because a lot of what they've done to this point has been pass plays. Here's what Seth Dagey said when he was asked about the potential of running more in the red zone.
I think absolutely, but it's not like I'm just calling passes. I am calling runs, but you also have to have this element of RPOs just in case they do stack the box. Now, do I think Noah got aggressive at times of going after it? Yes, I do. Do I need to fix that? Yes, I do. Do I take accountability for us not being good in the red zone? Absolutely, that's on me. But I'm going to own it. I'm going to fix it. Like in the overtime drive, we ran the ball. The one that we scored, we did run the ball. And then on the second one, I didn't want to take it out of his hands. Our best player is number 1. And so I wanted number 1 to have the best chance to go win the game. On second down, it was 2nd and 10. I did call a run. We spit, a flat route, which we've never done since I've been here. Just trying to be too aggressive again. And if we hand the ball, it probably walks in. So there was some runs called that I felt like would have been successful runs. We just got to fix how we're throwing RPOs and when we can throw them, and understanding, the difference of what I'm looking for and what I'm not. So I think, again, at the end of the day, yes, it's on me and I need to fix it.
So my first question to the two of you is, do you know what spitting a flat route is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
That's we get new phrases every week from these guys. I have no idea myself what he means, and I was not there on Tuesday, so I could not follow up and say, what do you mean split a flat route? What does that mean? So if you're a coach out there, a football coach, I'd love to know, and I put this out on Twitter, but nobody's responded to it. I'd love to know what spitting a flat route means. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Now, a couple things there. And obviously, this is the first time we've all kind of been together, so I just want to get your guys' thoughts on this as well. So one of the things he said there, and I said this earlier in the week with Glenn on Wildcat Breakdown, is he said they ran the ball on the first series in overtime, which they did. Thought they had a touchdown. Unfortunately, got called back holding on Shuba Maye, had to kick the field goal. Second drive, they didn't want. He said he didn't want to take the ball out of the hands of Noah. Noah's the best player, and they wanted to have the ball in his hands, and that's great. My issue with what he said there is how I see it is why not then if that's the case, if you want to put the ball in Noah's hands, why not put the ball in Noah's hands in regulation when you had 3 downs to try to get a first down and more and potentially kill the clock? That we didn't put the ball in his hands until 3rd down on that drive. I thought they should, if that's what we're doing here, and I'm totally in agreement with what Seth said there, because Noah should have the ball in his hands. Then put the ball in Noah's hands in the regulation part of the game to try to win the game at that point.
That wasn't something that was shown a lot last season, obviously. And that's still something that a lot of people, I think, quarterback position, he mentioned it. Do we need to use RPO there to go ahead and keep the defense honest? Well, you can keep the defense honest by just running the ball out of a traditional running formation. You can do that, and even when you're in shotgun, but the RPO thing, look, you want to make sure that your quarterback is the one who's making the final decision. That's the person who has the final call with the ball in his hand on the field. Yeah, I would like to see them give it to Noah more often than not, but at the same time, I want to make sure that if we're giving it to Noah, it's a dedicated pass play. I don't want to force Noah to have to make a second decision on top of where he already has to throw the football.
Well, dedicated
as much as bringing
pass
him
or dedicated run.
Well, but that's my point, is that I want – we talked a little about during the discussion, do we want to be in analytics or do we want to base it off of how long we've had for our – the feel of the game and everything.
Feel or analytics. That's the quote of the week, feel and analytics.
And – J-Dub and I, we both kind of broached on it. You can't live on the left and right side of your brain at the same time. It has to be one or the other. Be dedicated to the run or the pass, but don't try to pretend that you can do both on the same play and still come out with a positive result.
We can't be on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah. My problem is simple. Their nose tackle was kicked out of the game for targeting. Their best linebacker wasn't in the game. Arizona has 3 running backs that were all fresh that have all shown the ability to break big runs. On the touchdown drive that gave them a 10-point lead, Noah threw the ball 7 consecutive times until they got to 4th and 1, and then Kedrick Risano took it 36 yards to the house to give them a 10-point lead. Now, DK, when you're going against a defense, a very, very good BYU defense, let's be clear, but a defense that's in the 4th quarter, Arizona's been pushing on them all game long, tired legs. Their best defensive players up the middle especially are not in the game. To me, that's a time when you punish that middle with the run game. So I don't have a problem with Seth Daigie's run-pass percentage. Maybe a little bit more runs with these running backs. Maybe more of a 60-40 split than what we've seen. My only issue is down the stretch of games, finding a way, especially when you have the lead, to gash them for 7 here, 8 there, keep the chains moving. 7 consecutive now. Those could be RPOs mixed up in there. I'm sure they were. I'm sure a couple of those were the option by Noah, and that's what Seth's talking about. He got maybe a little bit too aggressive. 7 consecutive passes before the Kedrick Risano 36-yard touchdown. I just would like to see late in games them punish teams, especially teams that are maybe a little bit weaker in the middle, because those 3 running backs, DK, you've been talking about it all year, have the potential to salt away games in the 4th. That's how you win games. That's how you become a winning program. You find a way to maintain 3-point, 6-point, 8-point, 10-point leads when the game is at hand, and you really you have the ball, and you got to find a way to get first downs and finish games with your offense.
All right, we're gonna get into the second half. I'm gonna pull something out what he said there in terms of run pass option. And a particular play where he mentioned Noah gets a little aggressive. We'll talk about one particular play. I tweeted about it earlier today about when Noah gets too aggressive maybe at times for this offense, and that the fact that that's one example that they're still trying to figure this out, still learning. I maybe figure it out, but still learning how to make this whole thing work in this new scheme that we've got here with Seth Daigie. All right, match point for the Arizona Wildcats volleyball team in Orlando. We'll see maybe if they get this last point here before we send it to David Amata here. 24-17. Arizona is on top. They have won the first two of the first three sets, so they're trying to close it out 3-1. And, of course, we get a long point here when I'm trying to hold on.
So, listeners, let me break down what's about to happen. Dragon Ball is going to start doing his 2020 update, and you're going to hear a woo-hoo from DK right in the middle of it.
There it is. Woo-hoo!
And there's
Arizona
there's the
wins.
woo-hoo.
Arizona wins at Central Florida 25-17 in set. Or wait, now they're going to go to review. So, because
We'll wait for the woo-hoo
That's
here.
what happens in sports now. Everything goes to the review here before we get a final determination. Dragon Ball's got everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world. Wait for the woohoo.
Again, we'll have a reminder that tomorrow is not just a football day for the Arizona Wildcats. They also have the first exhibition game of the season for the men's basketball team when they host St. Mary's at the McHale Center. Tip-off currently slated around 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Tucson. Do be sure to go ahead and check in with the Arizona Ticket Office. You can call them at 520-621-CATS to go and see if you got any chance at some tickets. There were some when I checked earlier this afternoon, but do be sure to go ahead and check that out and see if you can join in for the first exhibition game at McHale tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals, they will be getting one of their key offensive pieces back on the field for their upcoming game against the Packers this Sunday. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been cleared of his concussion after he got knocked out of the contest last week against the Colts. However, quarterback Kyler Murray is still listed as questionable for the contest as the Cardinals aim to try to get themselves out of the cellar in the NFC West. And meanwhile, the MLB playoffs, we have the confirmation.
Arizona beats Central Florida 3-1. The challenge upheld in favor of the Wildcats.
There we go. The MLB playoffs continue today. The Dodgers will have a chance to complete the sweep in the NLCS after managing to handle things back in Game 3 out in Los Angeles yesterday.
It's the times he has gone back to the dugout and then got back up. That's a liner into center field. That's down for a base hit. Here comes Smith. Felix got a great arm. It's cut off. Throw the third, not in time. Tommy Edman puts the Dodgers in front.
Take a look right here. Edman right up the middle. And you can see Dino Abel sending them right away and gives the Dodgers a lead.
Dodgers putting together an inning.
And again, the Dodgers have their game just at the start here at the bottom of the hour at 5:38 for first pitch. Again, they can complete the sweep over the Brewers to clinch a return to the World Series here. Meanwhile, we're back over in Seattle, tied 1-1 here as the Mariners officially go to the bullpen here at the top of the sixth. No outs in that inning at this time. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported River Road east of Campbell, River and Hacienda del Sol, some eastbound slowing. Harrison and Old Spanish Trail, Houghton, north of Escalante. Major collision occurred at Alvernon and Grant Road. Occurred on Alvernon to the north of Grant, southbound Alvernon. Approaching Grant, travel there blocked and being diverted. A lot of backups at Grant and Alvernon, and mostly, though, for westbound Grant Road, approaching Alvernon Way. And for your weather, 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow, 89 on Sunday, and 79 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER gets you out of plumbing danger.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
It's Which is Riches, only from Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Club Soul members can swipe daily to enter drawings held Friday and Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m., where winners get to pick from the Witch's Cauldron to see which prize is rich with $500 free play. It's Which is Riches, now through October 31st, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun, an enterprise of the Boscoyaki tribe.
Uh-oh, another plumbing disaster. Don't panic. Call the pros at Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. From clogged drains to full-blown repipe repairs, our expert team is fast, getting repipes done in one day. Reliable, professional, and always ready 24/7. When water won't behave, Acclaimed saves the day. Call 520-200-1089 or visit acclaimed-drain.com. Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. Trusted, local, acclaimed.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep
Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen this fall with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with Sphere Ice. Only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss fall appliance savings at the Home Depot. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KCUD Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final hour of our show today, and then we are right back with you bright and early, 4:30 a.m. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day for the Wildcats and the Cougars coming up with a kickoff at 9 o'clock. Now, Brian Jeffries mentioned yesterday that the last time that the Wildcats went to Houston, you'll remember 2018, that was the game where Khalil, I think it was the first game or second game of the season, Khalil went down there, got hurt, and that kind of helped derail that season a little bit. he mentioned that game started at 11. Do you remember that early start, J-Dub? You'd have been in the building at that particular time. Did you work that morning?
Oh, yeah. I've worked every single football game for the last 11 years. I think if memory serves, I was going to ask what your quickest turnaround was in your time in the profession. And I know that we did a late night basketball game that ended post game at 1 or 2 a.m. into an early morning pregame the next day at 7 or 8. So
wow.
That could have been that Houston game, but that was September 8th.
Yeah, that would have
So
been.
that's a little too early for basketball to
It would have
start.
just been a football deal.
The answer to the question is, were you here for that game? Is always yes, starting in 2016.
Okay. I was wondering because I was like, yeah, J-Dub probably would have been here at 4:30 in the morning because I'm familiar. The format was the same. It's been the same ever since I got to town. 3 hours pregame and 2 hours postgame.
There was a slight lazy period where we did 2 hours live and 1 hour recorded, but yes, always 3 hours. Yeah,
but it was never the first hour tape.
No,
right?
no. The first 2 hours were always live.
Yeah. So they would have been here for a few hours anyway.
For sure.
Had that had happened. All right, we want to hear from you as well today, 520-848-1290. Get your thoughts on Wildcat football. I got a text I'll read here coming up as well. We did get a text on a conversation we were having regarding the Cardinals and the state of that whole situation there. We'll get to that as well. But I want to wrap up what we were talking about with Seth Dagey in the last hour. And I want to go back and replay you this one section that he talked about in terms of the decision making and RPO. And for those of you that don't know what RPO is, that's run, pass, option. Okay, that means that essentially there's two plays called, and the play it could be a pass play, and Noah might decide when he gets up there that the run option, there's a run option attached to that pass play. He may look at the defense and say, okay, I want to check out of the pass option and go with the run option, and vice versa. There may be plays that are run first where he gets up there and he sees something and he'll check out of that, or he'll pull the ball out and pass it. And again, this goes to, and when you have an RPO system, it takes, and you heard Seth say, we've got to, he and I have to figure out what I want in these instances. Well, here was one particular play I want to point out that he kind of talked about there, in which he called a run play in the red zone, but Noah opted out to a pass play. And I tweeted about this earlier today. Here's how that portion of the soundbite went.
On second down, it was 2nd and 10. I did call a run. We spit, a flat route, which we've never done since I've been here. You know what I mean? Just trying to be too aggressive again. And if we hand the ball, it probably walks in. So there was some runs called that I felt like would have been successful runs. We just got to fix how we're throwing RPOs and when we can throw them, and understanding, the difference of what I'm looking for and what I'm not. On second down, it was 2nd and 10. I did call a run.
So that was Seth Dagey. So he said second. So this was the second overtime. This was the second overtime. They'd gotten the first. You remember they went for it on 4th and 1. In the first part of that drive, they got the first down. Then they first down and 10. They didn't get anything, so they were in a 2nd and 10 situation. He called the run play. It was an RPO. He calls a run play, though. The first part of the play was to run. The emphasis of the play was to run, and Noah thought he saw something and opted out of the run and threw a route pass to, I believe it was, might have been Chris Hudson or Nunu, that went for about 3 yards. But if you go back and watch this play, and I tweeted it, the run part of that was completely blocked well to where all Quincy Craig would have had to have done. And he said it right there. If we'd have run it, we'd have scored, because everybody was on the right side of the screen, and all Quincy Craig would have had to done was pop it out to the left, and he could have walked into the end zone. And this is the communication piece that is still trying to be figured out by this quarterback and this offensive coordinator about what works and at what time. And we heard a lot of this after the loss at Iowa State, and we heard it more again after this loss to BYU. And he readily admitted, that if there's plenty of plays there that if they hit on, we're not even having this conversation. It goes back to kind of what we talked about last week when they won against Oklahoma State. So we're not really talking about that particular mistake because it didn't really affect the game. Well, now you lose to BYU, and yes, we are talking about certain mistakes that led to you losing that ball game. Well, this was one of them again, and it goes back to what I said last year in terms of the growth of this quarterback, Noah Fifita. Sometimes it's him, and this was an instance where it was him. He got a play from his offensive coordinator, and he thought he saw something else, and that didn't work. Okay, so you can't put that on Seth Doege, and then there are times when it's Seth Doege or when it's the offensive coordinator. Name whoever you want. Dino Babers, Seth Doege. What was the other guy? Matt Walton. It can be any of those guys. There's times when it's them, but there's times when it's the quarterback as well. So it's a lot of these issues that we're seeing, I think, in terms of Noah Fifita are very similar to what we saw last year. But don't get it wrong. He's playing much better overall, and the numbers support that, than he did a year ago. But there's still a communication piece that they're trying to figure out, and hopefully they continue to work on that and they can get on the same page for, like what Seth said there, he can run what I want in these instances.
I'm wondering where the PROs are. Because to me, that's just like delayed handoff, right?
So the
like,
pass run option.
We've seen that a lot in the 80s. A lot of run-heavy offenses, 80s, 90s era, NFL especially, where you'd see a lot of teams that were run first, setting up the mid-passing game, right? And that whole thing. But, RPOs, if you didn't watch football, if you've been an Arizona Wildcat fan for the last 8 years, maybe you don't know what RPOs are.
Right.
But like that was
we ran a lot of those in the Rich Rod era.
Every other sentence about Arizona football from, what was it, 2010 to 2017 was RPO.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask a question here between the two of you guys, and I'll just what's the one characteristic you always want to see from a quarterback, regardless of the level of play? The characteristic that you need if you're going to be a successful quarterback.
You need
quick
to be able
decision
to look,
making.
Yeah.
Quick decision.
You need to be able to look into the end zone and say, is that John Candy over there?
Okay. Confidence is actually the answer I was going to
I was
get.
going with chill. Yeah. I mean, calm, I think, under pressure.
So with confidence, it comes to a point where you have to be able to believe that you are going to make either that long moon ball pass into the pocket or into the basket over somebody's shoulder, over a defender, or you're going to be able to squeeze that thing between a linebacker and a safety over the middle of the field and get it to your guy before it's either tipped or picked off by somebody else trying to jump the pass. You need to have confidence if you're going to try to do any of those things. Noah has confidence in it, but maybe there's that step beyond where it becomes overconfident. And maybe Noah sees something pre-snap and he thinks I know what this is going to be. I can go ahead and I can get that, no problem. And that's great. But at the same time, you need to be able to pick your spots. That's the biggest thing about when you're doing any kind of option offense, is know when to pick your spot. And sometimes that confidence level, it begins to dissipate when you start to realize, okay, maybe I'm doing a bit too much. You see a lot of times when quarterbacks have that confidence and it gets drained in them, and that's the big thing that Seth Doege is trying to do here, is he's trying to communicate with Noah saying, I don't want you to lose confidence in when I tell you you can't pass the ball in that situation, but you have to be aware you got this guy who's could be an all-conference kind of running back with how much all three of these guys can control the game. You got to let them do what they can do and help you to do your job in the big moment when it really matters.
And the other obvious side of that coin is trust, because you're talking about a new offensive coordinator Noah's ever worked with. Now, I'm talking about true trust. I'm talking about 100% trust in that foxhole mentality person next to you. It's not that Noah doesn't believe that Seth Doege can call a good game, but as you're saying, like you can't have confidence and be a D1 starting quarterback.
Yes.
You have to have confidence in order to play that position. And when the play comes down to play calling in those minute moments of especially run pass, you've been, going up the middle a few times, the outside might be open. The play calling is set up to set up those third and fourth plays with the first two. That's the whole point of it. Noah trusting in the system, trusting what Seth Doege's vision is, and Seth Diggy trusting Noah and what he's seeing on the field, and that true combination of those two. When you see the Arizona offense humming, it's going to be because those two guys are of the same mind and not seeing different things or thinking different things in game moments.
All right, Cricket's sitting here saying, would y'all just shut up so I can tell people what's happening here in Southern Arizona this weekend and all the other good stuff that's happening here? Y'all going, it's just expounding about some silly football stuff over there.
This is your guys' gig. I appreciate how knowledgeable.
All right, Cricket's going to tell you what's happening, and then I'm going to throw Cricket a little curveball here as well. So, Cricket, tell the folks about what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. You like the curveballs.
Sometimes I do. Okay. Tonight, there's a Spirit Halloween party at 191 Tool at 9 p.m. Wear your most questionable Spirit Halloween costume, because you could win $150. You don't have to wear a Spirit Halloween costume. Just put on a costume and go. Spooky season at the Loft Cinema. Tonight's showing at the Loft is Young Frankenstein. And also tonight, there's a free screening of Corpse Bride at the Tohono O'odham Community College. Tomorrow night at the Loft, it is an all-night Screamorama, 12 hours of horror movies.
Ooh, Which ones?
A bunch of...
Army of Darkness? Happy Halloween,
lots of them.
Shamrock.
That sounds a little too happy.
Maybe a little too much.
Too happy, yeah. And they say you pay to get in, you pray to get out.
Pay to get in, pray to get out. Oh,
12 hours. It's the Screamorama at the Loft Cinema. And of course, I want to remind you again, Tucson Meet Yourself downtown Tucson until 10 tonight, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Sunday. 40-plus food vendors downtown Tucson. Tucson Meet Yourself, and details, TucsonMeetYourself.org.
And don't get those mixed up. Don't wear your Spirit Halloween costume to Tucson Meet Yourself, please.
Yeah, no.
Unless you really are really in the holiday spirit.
All right, so now I'm going to throw Cricket a curveball here. Cricket, it is time for our 5K giveaway, our final keyword of the week. Your chance, not your chance, Cricket, but somebody else's chance out there to win $1,000 right now. So get your phone out and your short code. Text 95819, 95819. We're going to give you the final keyword of the week. Cricket is going to give it to you. Cricket, what is that final keyword of the week?
And please text the keyword grand. G-R-A-N-D.
Yeah, because they can win a grand.
Exactly.
Do you want a grand in your hand?
I would love a grand
in my hand. Do you want a grand in your hand?
I would like it.
How about you, J-Dub? You want a grand in your hand?
Whatever. I was thinking more like, go to one of these events Cricket just told you about, and you'll have a grand old time. That was what I was thinking.
Whoops, sorry. Sorry, that was me. I totally hit the microphone. I was so excited.
I did that earlier. You're good.
They just run out right in front of you. It's no problem.
All right. Text grand right now to 95819. It's the 5K a day giveaway. 5 times a day, we're giving away $1,000 twice on this show. So we'll be back on Monday with 5 more keywords for you. In fact, I'll give you 3 on Monday because I'll give you another one live during the Brent Brennan press conference show at around 12:20. So stay tuned for that. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Country Club south of Speedway, Valencia east of I-19, in Oro Valley, Oracle and McGee. Foothills River Road east of Campbell River and Hacienda del Sol. That was a rollover wreck impacting eastbound travel. Major collision occurred at Alvernon and Grant. On Alvernon to the north of Grant. Southbound Alvernon approaching Grant. Travel there being diverted. And there are really, really bad backups on westbound Grant Road near Alvernon. 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow, 89 on Sunday, and 79 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-proof collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Step into a world where rewards never end. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Every moment brings excitement. Every visit unlocks exclusive perks, free play, dining discounts, and more. From high-stakes action to luxurious experiences, your rewards grow with every play. Join today for endless benefits and unforgettable moments. Club Soul. Play more, earn more, experience more. Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Boscoyaki Tribe.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
$1,000 is a pretty good chunk of change.
All right, yeah!
And we're giving you 5 chances a day to win. 5 winners a day, $1,000 each, every weekday. That's $5K a day.
No freaking way.
Listen for the national text keywords, weekdays, 5 times a day for your chance to win $1,000 with $5K a day.
Oh my God!
5 chances to win $1,000, $5K a day.
Keep listening for your chance to text the national keyword right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop fall savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen this fall with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with sphere ice. Only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss fall appliance savings at the Home Depot. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
The NFL International Games head to Wembley.
Let's go!
So wake up and lock in, because on NFL Network, our stars come out in the morning. Stafford and the Rams offense is ready to put on a show.
Touchdown, LA!
But Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are looking to light up London.
Incredible!
It's Sunday morning football. Snooze off, game on. Rams, Jaguars. Sunday, October 19th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Soccer star Kristen Press announced this week she'll retire at the end of the NWSL season. The U.S. national team forward helped lead the Americans to back-to-back World Cup titles in 2015 and 2019. A standout at Stanford, Press won NCAA Player of the Year in 2010 before turning pro the following season. The Los Angeles native went on to play 11 years in the NWSL, most notably with her hometown club, Angel City FC, joining in 2021 as the expansion team's first ever signing. Now she's set to hang up her cleats, leaving behind a legacy as one of the sport's true pioneers.
Because it's women playing sports, it automatically signals impact, progress, and change. There's so much opportunity in women's sports. It's phenomenal where we are, and there's so far to go.
Angel City will honor Press on Sunday when they host the Portland Thorns. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Erica Herskowitz on Westwood One.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We have got basketball this weekend at McHale Center, the first exhibition game of this 2025-26 season. Tip-off will be at 2 o'clock at McHale Center. It is Arizona and St. Mary's, and yes, it is that St. Mary's as we enter a new era here in college basketball where the Wildcats can play exhibition games against other Division I opponents, and boy, do they get a doozy because this is a Division I opponent that won their conference last year, the West Coast Conference, and won a game in the NCAA tournament, knocking off the Vanderbilt Commodores last year. Pleased to be joined by Ryan Barnett. He's done broadcast work on St. Mary's Gales Radio, as well as he's an assistant athletics director for communications with St. Mary's. And Ryan, this is obviously an exciting game for us to get an opportunity to play an exhibition game like this. And how's it being viewed on the St. Mary's side of it?
Certainly an excellent clash here between two of the West Coast Division I college basketball titans between Arizona and St. Mary's. A great early test for our Gales here, making the trek from Moraga, California, and we're really excited, obviously, to get some eyeballs on this as well with the exhibitions being allowed to be open. No more the closed door scrimmages, so this will be a great early test for the Gales. Obviously, a tougher schedule in the West Coast Conference. We've got the battle for Atlantis this year as well, but this is kind of one of the marquee matchups, albeit not counting towards the record for the Gales before they hit the gauntlet of West Coast Conference play in the likes of Gonzaga, San Francisco, Santa Clara, amongst others.
All right, so Ryan, I am a broadcaster, and as are you, but I'm a media member, so I'm not really allowed in any of these private scrimmages that have taken place in the past. You, however, are an administrator. Have you ever seen any of these secret scrimmages that the Arizona Wildcats and St. Mary's Gales have had over the years?
So I have not been in any of the Gales Wildcats scrimmages. I have been in some of our closed-door scrimmages in recent history here in Moraga. And they're, they go, at least our Gales go full go as if they're competing, that this is going towards their record, going towards their net rankings. I mean, these are opportunities, especially this year when you look at the Gales roster where minutes are earned. So certainly the Gales and under Coach Bennett, this is every single practice, every single game, every single scrimmage exhibition. The Gales are going full go as if this is counting for them getting a starting position. So certainly expect the Gales to come out and play as if this is game one of the year, even though it's not going to that record. That record will stay at 0-0. St. Mary's looking to prove that they are ready again to compete with the big boys of college basketball.
All right, we're chatting with Ryan Barnett. He is Assistant Athletics Director of Communications at St. Mary's, and it is the Wildcats and the Gales on Saturday at McKale Center. A familiar name that the Wildcat fans are going to see in the building on Saturday. Paulius Morauskas spent some time here in the Arizona Wildcats program under Tommy Lloyd, transferred over to St. Mary's, and Paulius had a really outstanding season last year, averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds and winning West Coast Conference Newcomer of the Year award. How has he developed inside that program?
You know, when Paulus came to us at St. Mary's, we knew he could be a bona fide scorer. I think a lot of that, while he didn't get too much run at the University of Arizona as a true freshman, a lot of that could be seen on his tape from his playing with the Lithuanian youth national teams. And he's a dominant scorer interior. He has an ability as well to step out and hit the three, where I think he really took major strides in year 2 of college basketball. Year 1 here at St. Mary's was his defense, and that's a signature of Coach Randy Bennett, especially when he brings in a lot of these transfers. Is they're ready to step up and play offensively in the game, but defense is the calling card of St. Mary's. We've been ranked in the top 20 defensively in the country each of the last 5 years, top 10 each of the last 4 years. So getting guys up to speed on how St. Mary's plays gritty physical defense. And there were some times early on in non-conference play last year where he wasn't quite up to snuff per Coach Bennett's standards, but he certainly stepped up as the season wore on and became a gritty physical defender, defending 4s, sometimes, switching on and defending 5s as well. Playing as well in the West Coast Conference. You have some smaller teams where they'll play 4 guards out and defending a 3 who's playing the 4 out on the perimeter as well. And I think that part of his game is going to continue to grow now as the lone returning starter.
Assistant, the brother of Zulis Tabelis, who was a star here at the University of Arizona. So a couple of Wildcat connections coming to town with the St. Mary's Gales. And I mentioned at the top, champions of the West Coast Conference last year, which is no easy feat, which means to get to that point, you have to beat Gonzaga, which you guys did twice last year, although the Bulldogs got you in the conference tournament at the end, because it's never easy to beat a team 3 times in one season. But what made that team so good last season overall?
It's the same thing that has helped Coach Bennett turn St. Mary's from being in the shadow of Gonzaga to, I think, really being right there with Gonzaga. Gales have actually won the West Coast Conference outright in back-to-back seasons, the regular season, I should say. Won the tournament as well 2 years ago and got a share of the West Coast Conference regular season title with Gonzaga 3 years ago. And that's a term we use quite a bit here at St. Mary's, gritty, not pretty play. We're going to out physical a lot of teams. We've got a great, huge front line. We were one of the top 30 tallest teams in the country last year, and it's not just height, but body-on-body basketball. We led the country in rebounding margin last year. Whether you look at it one way or the other, we either led the country or finished bottom in the country for longest average possession in college basketball. We're going to make you run through our screens for a full 30-second possession on offense. On defense, we're going to put a body on anyone. We're going to be right on your hip pocket. We're not going to get aggressive defensively, but we're going to be right there. We're going to make life tough. And that gritty, not pretty, old-school basketball has been Randy Bennett's calling card and why St. Mary's has been to now 18 straight postseasons to figure in NIT or NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive run for sure. And that's what makes this game so interesting here Saturday. And obviously, you mentioned not a lot of returners outside of Paulius Morauskas on this team, but you guys got some transfers from inside the conference, which it's always fun when you can pull guys from your opponents that you gotta try to beat to win the West Coast Conference. What can we expect from Tony Duckett and Jazz Gardner, both transfers from San Diego?
Yeah, Tony Duckett comes from San Diego, an explosive scorer. He set the single-game freshman scoring record at San Diego last year with 31 points in a game against Loyola Marymount. He followed that up in the West Coast Conference tournament. His first look at that tournament, I think he averaged 18 points a game over the 2 games at San Diego was in that tournament. He's an exciting player. He can play off the ball. He can handle the ball. Curious to see, looking just at some of St. Mary's practices and intra-squad scrimmages, if he's going to start immediately, come off the bench. But he'll be a key piece, a big-time scorer, certainly, and, again, a guy that I think, like Morauskas last year, the big question is he ready to step up and play Bennett defense as well as his explosive scoring ability? And then with Jazz now coming into his 3rd year of college basketball, spent his first year at Nevada, last year at Pacific. Another big, gritty 7-foot post player, although Jazz has shown some ability as well to play some of the 4. And last year, the Gales went with a double big for the first time in a while. They went with Mitchell Saxon and Harry Wessels. And Gardner, I think the Gales are looking to develop to be able to play in that double big role. We have a couple of bigs who are returning, who are pretty solid, and Harry Wessels, who was our second, or I guess you could call him our 7th man, second most minutes off the bench last year and played a huge role for us. And then Andrew McKeever as well, who comes in at 7'2", and was a redshirt freshman last year, twice named West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week. So, in the mix there, you got a 7-footer in Gardner, you've got 7'2" in McKeever, and you got 7'1" as Wessels. And I certainly think that helps to the gritty physical basketball that Coach Bennett wants to play when you can just outsize a lot of teams that you're going to see.
We're chatting with Ryan Barnett. He is the Assistant Director of Athletics Communication with the St. Mary's Gales. He has done some work on their radio broadcasts as well. And you mentioned, obviously, some of the guys that we're going to see on this team. Another award winner last year was Mikey Lewis coming off the bench. Is he expected to have a similar role, the sophomore guard out of Oakland, or will he step up maybe into a starting role this year?
I think we'll probably see Lewis in a starting role this year. I think, quite frankly, if you look at it, a lot of the schools that the Gales saw last year, Mikey could have started on, and he quite frankly could have started on our team as well. You're going to hear me keep coming back to the physical, gritty defense that St. Mary's plays. And, Lewis, an explosive scorer. The defense came along as the season came along, but Coach Bennett had a guy, Jordan Ross, who eventually went on to transfer to Georgia, who may have not been the scorer that Lewis was, but had been in the system for a year, and the Gales knew could play that kind of defense. And I think Lewis certainly grew into that role and continued to work on it over the summer. And now with his Bennett defense kind of being ground into him and being ready to play that, we'll probably see him step up and play even more minutes now as a sophomore and get a chance to start.
You mentioned, obviously, you guys lost a player to Georgia. How has Randy kind of handled that? And we mentioned you guys got a couple guys from in-conference in the transfer portal, but obviously a school, when you get quality guys, you may lose them to higher schools. What's kind of his philosophy on all that?
I think he understands that that's college basketball in today's day and age, and you can either sit and complain about it or you can continue to work the portal in your favor as well. And he's certainly done that, bringing in a guy like Morauskas, bringing in guys like Duckett and Gardner this year. So it's certainly something that he's adapted with the times and with obviously the transfer portal and NIL, and been able to continue to build and put out successful programs at St. Mary's. But again, Coach Bennett, it's all about retention. He's coming up on year 25 here at the helm at St. Mary's. It's been his only head coaching stop. He's top 5 now as coaches tenured at a single school actively in college basketball. Find some greats. Tom Izzo's in that list just in front of him. James Jones at Yale, Mark Few at Gonzaga, Greg Campy at Oakland. So it's all about retention. He's able, while some guys have trickled out into the portal, to retain guys as well. I mean, Harry Wessels, we mentioned earlier, he's going to be a fourth-year senior. Morawski's coming back for his second year. I mean, he certainly could have sniffed the portal, but, was bought in and ready to come back. We lost 3 seniors who graduated, 2 fifth years and a fourth year last year. I mean, Augustus Marshallonis was the back-to-back conference player of the year, but stuck it out for all 4 years at St. Mary's. Luke Barrett was a 5-year Gale. Mitchell Saxon was a 5-year Gale. So, certainly the transfer portal is part of college basketball now, but the way Coach Bennett coaches and gets these guys to buy in, I think a lot of them are bought in to stay and play their career at St. Mary's. And if they don't, he's ready to know what kind of guy he's going and looking for in the portal or from these high school seniors who are coming in as freshmen as well to buy into that culture.
All right, it is Arizona and St. Mary's at McHale Center with coverage beginning here on Wildcats Radio 1290 at 1:30 and tip-off at 2 o'clock. A Division I exhibition game. Looking forward to seeing what this transpires to be here in Tucson. Ryan, hey, appreciate you letting us know a little bit about what's going on with our former cap, Paulius Morawskis, and the rest of the St. Mary's Gales.
Yeah, certainly. Thankful to be here.
There we go. That is Ryan Barnett, Assistant Athletics Director of Communications at St. Mary's. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Los Reales and Cardinal, westbound slowing there. Country Club south of Speedway Boulevard, Broadway and Harrison. Valencia east of I-19, Oracle and McGee. Nogales Highway and Hermans Road. Earlier overturned vehicle, River Road east of Campbell at Hacienda del Sol, eastbound slowing. Alvernon and Grant, bad collision occurred there. Southbound Alvernon approaching Grant, travel is being diverted, and a lot of backups on westbound Grant at Alvernon. 55 and clear overnight, 83 tomorrow, 89 Sunday, and 77 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop fall savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen this fall with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with Sphere Ice. Only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss fall appliance savings at the Home Depot. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
My hero.
To advertise up to 40% off at Tobacco Barn, paying no city or state sales tax, and saving up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, I'm going to jump from this airplane at 30,000 feet.
I hope he's careful.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation.
Wait, where's the ripcord?
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Oh no, he forgot his parachute.
I did it!
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco!
Captain, you seem a little shorter.
I prefer vertically challenged, my dear.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Or did everyone else get taller?
Oh, brother.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Nobody does big screens like this. At Roadhouse Cinemas, every movie is massive with thundering surround sound and food and drinks delivered to your seat. Then, just steps away, Roadie's Lanes Games and Gastropub turns game day into an event. Huge screens with every play in full view. Hit the lanes, throw an axe, battle it out in laser tag, crush it in the arcade, or crazy darts. Movies, sports, food, fun, all in one place. Roadhouse and Roadies, 2 epic experiences, 1 unbeatable destination. Corner of Grant and Swan.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a good football team, but even with the AFC being wide open, last night's loss to the Cincinnati Bengals shows you why they shouldn't be taken seriously in the AFC. The Steelers used to be about great defense and winning Super Bowls. Well, last night the Steelers allowed 470 yards to old man Joe Flacco, and Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since the 2016 season. Will the Steelers have a good record at the end of the year? Yes. Will they be in the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. I'm Zach Gelb.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of our show for today. Again, we'll be right back with you at 4:30 a.m. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, Wildcats and Houston Cougars on the football field. Because we have such an early morning, I will not be getting out to see any high school football games, but there are 26 games in Southern Arizona tonight. We'll give you those. We got Desert Christian hosting Santa Cruz Valley tonight. Rincon and Cholla will do battle over on the east side. Empire welcomes in Salita. Wilcox, 7-1, will host Benson tonight. Benson arrives at 5-3. How about Palo Verde? Palo Verde's got 5 wins. Palo Verde is 5-3 on the season. They'll host Bisbee tonight over on the east side. Vista Grande is at home against Ironwood Ridge. Tanque Verde on the road at Tombstone. Catalina at Globe. Baba Kaviri looking for their first win at home against San Manuel. CDO at 3-4 will try to knock Desert View from the ranks of the unbeaten. The Jaguars are 7-0 on the season. Mountain View at home tonight against Nogales. Safford will welcome in 7-1 Push Ridge Christian Academy. Sabino on the road at Florence tonight. Cienega at 4-3 will head to our neighborhood here in the Tee and take on Flowing Wells. The Cavs, though, lost their first game of the season last week up in Mountain View. 6-1 also, Marana will host Tucson High tonight over across the mountains. Sunnyside, it welcomes in Maricopa. Both those teams are 4-3. Micah Mountain will get a date at home against Amphi tonight. The defending champs are 5-2 on the year. Aho, I should say, gets Breen Academy. Breen Academy is 5-0. Baghdad and St. David, this will be a good one in the 1A 8-man division. Baghdad 7-0. St. David's 7-1. Valley Union at Valley Lutheran. Catalina Foothills going to host Walden Grove up in my neighborhood tonight. The band will be striking it up. Pueblo, they haven't lost at home since they debuted their new field, and they'll take on 1-6 Rio Rico this evening, looking to go to 5-3. Is Sly Lewis's squad. Saguaro at Douglas. I saw Douglas last weekend over here at Amphi, and they've got a pretty good lefty quarterback in Ivan Higuera. See if they can continue their winning race. Santa Rita looking for their first win at San Carlos tonight. Basha will host South Point Catholic. That'll be a good one. Basha, the defending champs, at 6-0. Casa Grande and Buena rounds out the schedule. Let's give you your Carolina Panthers report for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
While the Panthers have found their way in recent games, they will not be taking lightly a road game to face the NFL's only team still searching for their first victory of the season. I'm Jim Zoki with a Panthers Update after this.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte. 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
The 3-3 Panthers visit the 0-6 New York Jets on Sunday. Carolina's been on a tear in the running game, both offensively and defensively, in their past 2 wins. Running back Rico Dowdle has led the way, but says they'll not be overlooking the NFL's only winless team, the New York Jets, and they know how hungry they'll be.
Teams like that, they're going to be fighting to get that first win, so we definitely don't want to be the ones to give it to them. So definitely going to throw everything they got to get that win, we feel like, and we just got to come in prepared and can't sleep on them for sure. It's the NFL. You can go out there any given week and lose.
When the Panthers are passing the ball, they'll be on high alert of where the Jets' 2-time All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner is. Coach Dave Canales on what makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, you got to be able to catch contested passes, and he's going to be there. He's sticky. He's sticky in man coverage. When he's in zone, he's playing off the quarterback's drop. He's a fantastic player, and you have to come off the rock with speed. You got to be able to use your hands. He's not afraid of a penalty here and there. He's a really confident guy, and that's exactly the type of opportunities and challenge that brings out the best in our guys. And so, got to meet the challenge. You're going to have to catch the ball when he's near you.
I'm Jim Zoki on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
All right, time now for your Casino del Sol replay. Casino del Sol is home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. Arizona basketball will host St. Mary's, coming off a red-blue extravaganza that included Shaquille O'Neal, Rob Gronkowski. I asked head coach Tommy Lloyd about response from the red-blue post-move affair and what an event like that does for his program.
Tommy, you joked about your DJ residency when you came in here, but what was the reaction to red-blue post-move, Shaq being here, and just the aura that creates for your program nationally and maybe attracting kids to come play here?
That's a great question. I think we can go a lot of directions here. I think in the scheme of things, Arizona basketball matters, and in Arizona basketball is a brand that people across the country know, and they associate a successful basketball program with the University of Arizona, and I think Arizona basketball also is fun, and we don't ever want to discount that. Obviously, we're serious about what we do. We're professionals in how we approach it. But I also understand we're in the entertainment business. And, our job is to entertain our fans, engage, our fan base, and provide some, fun experiences. And so I think, what went down that Friday night was awesome. I mean, it was a ton of fun. The game, and guys, a lot of those things in games, we might have had some plans, but they were playing out in real time. I mean, these were not like scripted decisions that were happening way ahead of time, and we were figuring it out as we go. And fortunately, we had some willing participants that might have some notoriety. And we have some creative thinkers, and we had some great people behind the scenes executing all that stuff, and it made for a special night. And then we went over to that post-move deal, and the Dusk Boys, deserve a lot of credit. I mean, to have the courage, because that was an event run by Dusk. That wasn't quote unquote just a University of Arizona event. And those guys had the courage. I mean, they're the ones paying the talent and doing the tickets and all that stuff. So. I'm really appreciative of those guys because that's a great vision. And to be honest with you, we want to continue to do more stuff like that. We want to make basketball at Arizona a fun experience for everyone involved. We understand it comes down to winning and losing games, but it also comes down to experience and how you feel. And we want people to have a great feeling and a feeling of fun and happiness and joy when they experience Arizona basketball. You know what? There's probably going to be a little misery tied in with a few results, but that's part of the ride. And so I thought it was awesome, and I'm thankful for the community. I'm thankful for everybody that was a part of it. And, right now, I'm glad it's over because I want to focus on just this season. But, trust me, outside of that box, there's thoughts of me is like, can we do it bigger next year? And, can we have a bigger moment for Tucson and for our basketball program around the Red Blue game? So dreaming big, but also waking up to reality of getting ready for a tough season. So I'm excited for Saturday, thankful for you guys being here, and wishing you guys a happy Thursday and Friday, and I'll see you Saturday afternoon.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, and that is your Casino del Sol replay. It is brought to you by Casino del Sol, and it is home to award-winning gaming as well as dining, resorts, and golf at Sawilo. All right. That is going to do it for us. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks to Kim Doss. Thanks to Kevin Eschenfelder, voice of the Houston Cougars, Ryan Barnett from St. Mary's. For Dragon Ball, for cricket, and for JW Madden, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to bed. We'll talk to you 4:30 in the morning. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Have a great Friday night. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Alvernon north of Grant, bad collision occurred there. There's going to be heavy restrictions on Alvernon north of Grant. Westbound backups on Grant at Alvernon. Eastbound River Road east of Campbell at Hacienda del Sol, overturned vehicle and also clearing Los Reales and Cardinal. 55 are low, 83 tomorrow, and 77 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Hurry! Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale ends soon. See their sleep experts today to find your perfect bed from their premium selection and save big on better rest. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
How do you thank the heroes who serve and protect us every day? Come to the 5th annual Rockin' for Heroes free concert Sunday, November 9th in Oro Valley. Gates open at 1 p.m. Enjoy live classic rock, food trucks, and beverages too. Come celebrate our first responders, active duty military, veterans, and Gold Star families. Admission is free. We'll bring a chair and we'll see you there, November 9th in Oro Valley. You can get more information at rockinforheroes.org. Proudly sponsored by HSL Properties.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief show here with you coast to coast on the Infinity Sports Network. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe wherever you might be. I'll be hanging out with you for 1 more hour. This show gets started every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. I'm in Atlanta. Thank you to our producer in New York City, Ryan Botcher. This is a beautiful time of the year. It's fall. It's October. We got baseball playoffs. We got the NBA starting in a few days. We got the NHL